Hi y'all, it's Winston, and I want to lead you today on how to make homemade Southern Style biscuits. So let's go. So this is a super simple recipe. All we need is 1 measuring cup and 1 tablespoon to measure everything. And we're going to get started. Some all-purpose flour. I like Gold Medal brand. There's nicer flours. King Arthur brand's even better, but we don't got money like that. So we're going to start with 2 cups of flour. One tablespoon of sugar, one tablespoon of baking soda, and I go a little light on this. It can add a little bit too much bitterness if you go too heavy. 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Yeah, get in there. Get the end of my jar. It's okay. Ah, it should be good. And 1 tablespoon of salt. We'll just crack some in for a little bit. I'm having loose salt. Now with all our dry ingredients now together, we're going to just mix this and incorporate them all together. Like so. Gonna add just a little more salt. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to take some butter that I threw in the freezer and a cheese grater and grate the butter into my dry. 2 sticks of butter for this recipe. So I'm going to use some Irish style butter I got from Lidl. I like this butter. It's relatively cheap and delicious. I like to hold the butter in its own wrapper so I don't get on my hands. I don't have gloves. I'm not that fancy. But I don't like the feeling of butter on my hands. So I hold it this way as best as I can. I like the larger size grates. We're going to take it on that side. And I just hold it right in there. And there we go. We're going to grate it down. Now you want the butter frozen. If you don't freeze it, it doesn't bake well. It turns kind of into a liquidy, flatter biscuit. Now the butter I'm using, I popped in about 20 minutes ago, maybe about 30. There's that. Alright, when I get to the very end, I just save the butter for the biscuits for later. Put all that butter in there. There we go. Almost looks like melted cheese. I mean, shredded cheese. Gonna put this in the sink. Give the hands a good rinse. And now we're going to add 1 cup of milk. And here's the secret ingredient. We're going to give it a squirt of Duke's mayonnaise. and a little squirt of some sour cream. Sour cream squirt. Some Duke mayonnaise squirt. And that's just going to add more fat and moisture to the whole entire thing. Now we're going to mix them all together. So we're going to try to make a sort of a layered biscuit, but it's going to be also, because we added that extra fat with the Dukes and the sour cream, it's going to be kind of a cross between a layered and a drop biscuit. It's not going to be quite as wet as a drop biscuit is, but it's also not going to be quite as dry as just a normal flaky layer biscuit. We're working that in. Once it gets kind of to this texture, you can bring your hand in. You just want to kind of form it. Make sure you get all that flour kind of absorbed together. There we go. See what I'm doing, y'all? I'm kind of like folding it into itself, kind of punching it. Your hand's going to get gross for this part. But you're going to have delicious biscuits later, so that's all that really matters, right? So after you fold it in on itself quite a few times, and there's not a certain amount, man, it's just do it till it looks good and feels kind of alright. Yeah. Then, you know, wash your hand, and now we're going to get our pan ready. So let's put the bowl to the side for a second, and I'm going to go wash my hand and get the... So next thing I'm doing is I'm grabbing my pan. It's the old beaver pan I have. I'm going to put a piece of parchment paper. That just helps the biscuits not stick and don't need to use some spray. And next thing I want to do with these style biscuits, because they're not layered enough, I'm just going to basically, let me get a spoon so I can get accurate size. So you're going to spoon them, ball them, push a finger or thumb in the middle, so it's kind of like a donut, and then they'll raise more flat that way. Oh, and this should make 9 biscuits if you do it right. More to you. And there we go. 9 ready to go biscuits. So our oven has been preheating is 420 degrees, and we're going to toss these in for about 15 minutes. And they're done. Here is my homemade Southern Style biscuit. Look at that crust on the bottom there. Real nice. Real nice browning. They're delicious.